Okay, he's not allowed. No cameras are allowed over there on the range. We're not doing that this year. So when this is done, you shut them off. Like nobody needs to go over there. So listen. The spring's been busy. I'm still in the process of hiring an assistant coach to replace Pannone. I've had some good interviews. We should be wrapping that up hopefully by the end of the week here. That's been the priority. The roster's been the top priority. We've got 11 guys on the roster right now on scholarship. Probably going to fill at least one more. See what happens. There's still some decent guys out there. If we went into the season with just these 11, I think we'd be fine. But as you saw last year, some injuries happen. You need some depth. So we're still looking. We're looking at a couple guys. We'll see who's pulling their name out of the draft that's still in the portal. There's options out there like that. But the 11 guys we've got, I mean, we've kind of said moving forward, it probably looks like ideally a third, meaning if you end up with 12 or 13 guys on the roster, a third of them are guys that are returning, a third of them freshmen, and maybe a third of them guys in the portal. So we've got it similar to that now. We've got 4 returners. Obviously Holloway is a big part of what we did, and I think he's had a really good spring. I think he's going to have an even better year next year. He's one of the best shooters in the country. We're really looking forward to having him, a second year in the program. Aiden Sherrill came along. I believe he was 47% from 3 in conference play. So those 2 guys played a lot. The other 2 returners, Houston Mallett, we submitted all the paperwork to the SEC for his medical red shirt. We don't anticipate there being any issues there. He's in with Clark about every day in the training room. He's coming along really well. The one that's obviously a little more concerning with how he's going to be ready for next year is Trelly Reitzel, but he's way ahead of schedule from everything Clark tells me. He's in there. Clark says he's working super hard. He's doing everything he needs to do, so we anticipate him being fully ready to go by first game. I mean, he's already jumping. They've cleared him to jump. He met with, he's been up here at Andrews. Dr. Waldrop's in charge of surgery. He's really pleased with where he's at. So those 4 guys, a lot of experience, be back. The 3 freshmen we really think kind of add positional size, length, shooting, athleticism. London Jimison had a really good year. He shot it really well. Got really good size, kind of played 3 and 4. Amari Allen and Davion Hanna, both, I think, can contribute. They're guys we're looking for, kind of guys that have been good in our system. Kind of 6'6", 6'7", guard, wing, can create advantages. So our freshman class is good. The transfers, we've got 4 right now. The latest one we added was Keaton Bristow, who's the WAC freshman of the year. He's really come on, grown a lot in the last few years. So I think he shoots it well. He's kind of that long, athletic, versatile, plays hard on both ends of the floor. Taylor Bowen's done really well at Florida State, shot 41% from 3 at 6'10" and athletic. So, he probably play him at the 4 a lot. Moves really well though, can play wing, can go small, play him at the 5 if you choose to. Noah Williamson was Patriot League Player of the Year, and that skilled big that we've got. So he's fits exactly like what we want. So now we've got 2 spacing 5s with him and Sherrill. And then the last one's Jaleel Bethea from Miami. We recruited him hard out of high school, ended up going there, didn't have as good a freshman year as he'd like, kind of like Holloway maybe. Bring him in, put him in a different system. Was a McDonald's All-American. His upside's really high. So I think we're good. We're just probably trying to add one more piece here in the next couple weeks.
How comfortable are you with the depth at the point guard position specifically?
You know what? We'd like to get, obviously we think Reitzel and Mallett can play a little point guard. That's definitely a little bit of an issue. Holloway's definitely there. And then we do think that Amari and Davion, if you go back to our second year, think about how we played with Herb. We started Herb and really kind of had 3 2 guards around him, if you remember. We had Primo, Shackelford, and Petty. And then, Keon Ellis started a little bit too. All 3 of those guys now were point guards. So we can play where you've got a big creating wing, which if you look at some of what we've done and maybe what we're going to bring in and what we're looking at, but we don't necessarily have to play with just a point guard with the way we played and kind of how we have with multiple handlers playing as fast as we do. So I think you can play with like a 3 or a 4, handling the ball a lot, being a creator for us with how well some of those guys shoot it off the ball too. So it's a good question.
Nate, I think I saw you mention one time you might consider ratcheting down the non-conference schedule because the league was so tough, but you've got, St. John's, on the schedule now. Did the positives far outweigh the negatives?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's worked for us. You look at the success we've had. We've had the number 1 strength of schedule in the country the last 2 years. And I did make a comment along those lines, but 2 years ago when it was really tough, we lost 3 straight non-conference games. We still ended up going to the Final Four. So I believe we're the only team in the country that's played in the last 2 Elite Eights. So I think it works. I think we peaked at the right time. I think going through a little adversity in a non-conference helps. And look, you really don't get punished for losing those games. When you look at your seeding for the NCAA tournament, the committee wants good non-conference games. I mean, if you look the first week of college basketball, we're going to play St. John's at the Garden. So it's going to be our second game. So, like, ready or not, you better be ready to play right out of the gate this year. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the Garden's, one of the best places to play college basketball. It was an opportunity we didn't think we could pass up. St. John's was, won the Big East, 2 seed in the NCAA tournament. They play a little bit different style. Like, we're going to have to be ready for the pressure. Our guards, whatever we end up being where we're at on the roster, they're going to have to be ready to go against their pressure. I think it'd be good for us. So, we've got Illinois. It's going to be one of the best teams in the Big Ten. We get them up in Chicago. We've got Purdue, who's I think top 5 in the country in wins over the last 4 or 5 years. So always one of the best teams. They're coming back to our place, which will be good. We're still in the middle of adding a few more games. You know what? We're going to try to have the best schedule in the country again. So maybe.
Nate,
Maybe it's 7 really good ones instead of 8 really good ones. I don't know.
2 more. Nate, what do you think about the rise of Bucky McMillan? Few people can relate to that, but
I think it's pretty cool. I got here. I talked to Bucky, and I talked to him even about an assistant role, and then I told him, like, look, man, you need to get to wherever you're going to get an assistant, and fortunate for him, he's able to jump right from high school head coach. Just do it on your own accord and how good as you are, and they'll be better. And he did. I mean, he got to Samford, hit it out of the park. Me and him have talked a lot. I've talked to him even a few times since he got to A&M, and I think, when he says it, like, the success I've had here, I think helped him a little bit with just high school coaches can do it. And I think it's great for all the really good high school coaches around. I mean, he went right from high school to Samford, hit it out of the park, and now he's in our league. So, he's going to have a former player of ours. I think I can talk about it. I won't mention the name, but play for him. I think he plays a system similar to us, at least on offense, where he spreads the ball out, plays pretty fast, takes a lot of threes. So I'm really happy for him. I've gotten to be friends with him, and I'll be pulling for him outside of the time he's got to play us. So hopefully his offense doesn't look that good when he plays us, but he's done a really good job, so I'm happy for him.
what do you think about the? Go ahead.
Good. Thanks.
Coach,
Well, yeah, go ahead.
I had a golf question for you. I'm wondering if your approach to basketball bleeds into your golf game. You break out the track.
Yeah, listen. So I've thought about this. This occurred to me this week. Like, my coaching, my goal in coaching and my goal in golf is very similar. Like, 100's the number, right? So we're trying to get to 100 when we coach, and we've done it enough times, with playing up and down. And if we don't get to 100, I'm a little disappointed. My goal in golf similar. It's just I'm trying to get down to 100 instead of up to 100. So if I can get down to 100 with my golf, which isn't very good, obviously my golf game stinks. So, but if I can, be under 100 in golf, be over 100 in coaching, that's the number. So 100's the number. Hopefully today I'm under 100. Hopefully when we coach we're a little over 100. But yeah, I'm not a very good golfer. So I think 100's the number both ways. So got it. All right, roll tide. Appreciate you guys.